All right. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one, is
I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh.
Fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts. And this comes from the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, which Lord's will we're going to read. But before I go into that, as you see in front of you, in this, your screen, as many of you brothers already know, sisters, GMS Info Doc Channel 13 is gone. This is GMS Info Doc Channel 13. 11, they finally took it down. So brothers want to subscribe to this page here, so that if I'm not live on this page, Info 12, Lord's will I be on Info Doc 13. So I put this in the description box. As a matter of fact, there you brothers have it in the comments section. Brothers could click on that, sisters could click on that and go and subscribe to this page. All right, so now the name of the title, as I stated, Fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts. That comes from Isaiah 19. But before we go there, I was reading Isaiah the 25th chapter, and usually we just go to the 7th verse, but I ended up reading the whole chapter, and that's a bad chapter, man. It's speaking about these times now that we're living in. So Lord's will, we could tie both the Isaiah 25 and Isaiah 19 and whatever other precepts come through the Spirit. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stream for, because I'm still waiting on somebody to come here to, do more work, on my apartment, there was some problems, so they had to fix some stuff up. So I'm just still waiting for them to get here. But the Spirit is on me to go live. So if they get here, I may have to just, put this on pause, or maybe even stop it, and start it again later, Lord's will. But nevertheless, let's get into it. Isaiah 25:1. Like I said, we usually jump to the 7th verse, but the Spirit had me read the whole chapter, and it's a short chapter, but it's a powerful chapter. Isaiah 25:1. O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thou art my power. I will exalt thee. And this is why we've been saying that these names have to be exalted. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Fuck that Christ and Jesus and Jehovah and all that. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are the names that have to be exalted, because when this whole shithole goes down through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, those names will be magnified. And people will learn to reverence and fear those names because of the great shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts that he's going to create in this world. And it's going to go back to how it was after, we were delivered from Egypt, and them nations were nervous of the Lord because of the great power that he has. And they're going to learn to fear those names again, and they're going to learn to fear us again, because the dread of us is going to be upon these nations. Just like now people are scared to be around certain wild animals. Well, that's how Esau is going to be around us. They're going to be in fear. The other nations are going to be in fear. But after the slavery, passes, the other nations will have their portion of land and their rule among themselves, but they'll still be tributary to us. They'll still have that great reverence for us. So it says, I will exalt thee, I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels are of old are faithfulness and truth. Because everything that you see that has happened in the world, it's the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that has his hand in orchestrating these things happening. So it says, for thou hast made of a city an heap. This is dealing with America. He made this great city, which is, 5,000 square miles, 3,000 from east to west and 2,000 from north to south. He made this city an heap, because how big is a city? A city is as big as its citizens. You've heard Elder Pastor go over that time and time again, because this is something that he's pondered, on back, way back in the 90s, because he told us about it when he would come to Connecticut and teach us. He said he was meditating on that, how the scriptures say that, Babylon is a city, So he said, how could he tie in the city to be in America? To be in to so that term city could apply to America. And this, he said, is easy. He said, a city a city is as big as its people, and wherever you go on the planet, you are a U.S. citizen. That means you're a citizen of the great city, America. So America, Babylon the Great, is that great city that rules over all nations on the planet. So of this great city, this great mountain, the Lord said he's going to make an heap. For thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defense city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built, and America will never be built again at all. And this is how you know it's not talking about the land of Israel, because the land of Israel, once it's destroyed, is going to be rebuilt, because that is the Lord's footstool. That is the most pleasant part of the earth that the Lord loves. That is that parcel of the land, or that pit that the Lord loves. It says, therefore shall the strong people glorify thee. The city of the terrible nation shall fear thee. Why? Because when they see this terrible and glorious power that's coming from the heavens, just like they did back in Egypt. After we came out of Egypt, why didn't the nations allow us to come through their lands? Because they feared the Lord. Their name Yahweh just brought fear to them. That's what the scriptures say, that the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. And they were in great fear. That's why Rahab the harlot said, look, if I take care of y'all, and make sure that y'all get out of here safe, promise me, make an oath with me that you're going to save me and my household. We have heard, she said, we have heard of the great deliverance that the Lord did for you Israelites. Something along those lines. So they know. So they're going to be in fear once again. Because, one thing about the world, after that situation happened, that was thousands of years ago. You're talking about more than what? If I'm not mistaken, more than 3,500 years ago. If my math is accurate, maybe a little longer than that. Don't quote me on that. I mean, I'm just throwing an estimate out there that the Lord delivered us from Egypt and the nations feared. So now all this time later, the Lord really hasn't opened up and visited the earth like he did back then. But he's about to. He's about to open up, and everybody's going to be in fear. Because even the prophets were nervous and scared when they saw the visions and the horrible visions that the Lord showed them of the end times. But the difference with the prophets, and the elect, is that they will be saved. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, and the Lord is our strength. That's what the Lord said. Has not the Lord chosen the poor of this world rich in faith? Because that's all we have to hold on to, is that faith. Here goes. Just bear with me 1 second. Hey, Shalom, Akim, Salakia. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the feed here because they're here to start working. So Lord's will, I could start this back up. After, maybe later on, sometime today. All right, Salakia for that, and Shalom. Spirit is on me, but maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll go to my truck and go into it there. Shalom. All right, Shalom, Akim. Salakia. Hey, Shalom, Akim. I'm gonna stop the feed here because they're here to start working. So Lord's will, I could